expel you, and then they put someone else in the seat, you're going to run in 2024.
Absolutely.
Can you win a primary given all these things that are lined up against you?
Yes.
And the general election. This is a Biden-leaning district, and you have all these issues against you.
Could I have won the general election last time? Nobody said I could, but I still
tried. It was a different situation.
Elections are tricky, says George Santos. There's no predetermined outcome, he says. I've always believed that to be true, but hearing Santos say it, Anyway, I thought he would be gone by the time we came back, that John came back from leave, but no, George Santos is still around. He survived the expulsion vote that was introduced by New York Republicans who are worried that they may seem as if they somehow were complicit in George Santos's lies and getting him elected. But George Santos survived that in part because of due process, because enough Republicans and Democrats said, look, the guy's entitled to his day in court. And then after that, and after the House Ethics Committee investigation, then we can decide whether George Santos actually should be kicked out. Here's what George Santos said, though, about the Holocaust, among other things. Watch.
It's true.
It's true.
Oh, it's true. I spent the last 10 months DNA, hiring genealogists to actually...
I don't think there's any... Is there a documentation of this?
Oh, that's what I spent the last 10 months doing, putting together. But unfortunately, Ukraine is in the middle of a freaking war, and my grandfather comes from Ukraine. So this is the biggest lift that I've had to do my entire life. But that's something I'm gonna die. I'm gonna prove before I die.
But just to make clear, you have documented proof that your grandparents fought the Holocaust.
I am working on finishing getting the last pieces of it, specifically the piece in Brazil, where they go to Brazil and then have documents forged so that they can blend in and all of that.
So initially, George Santos says, yes, absolutely, I have relatives who fled the Holocaust. Then when pressed about the documents and evidence, he sort of says, well, I have yet to prove it because I don't have the documents. And oh, by the way, the war in Ukraine is interfering with things. And I have relatives, my relatives were in Ukraine and I can't get the information. Well, even if George Santos, let's just, for argument's sake, is telling the truth, and that he really did have some relatives who fled the Holocaust, here are the things that we know that George Santos has lied about. He lied when he said that he was a producer of a Broadway show about Spider-Man. He lied when he said he had been a volleyball store. He lied when he said he had been a landlord, when in fact he's never owned property. He lied when he said he was a graduate of multiple colleges. He lied when he said he worked at Goldman Sachs. He lied when he said he was not a drag queen. He had been a drag queen. He lied when he said he had employees of his who died outside of the Pulse nightclub shooting in Florida. He did not. He lied when he said his mother was there at 9/11. She was not. He lied when he said he was going to take charity money and actually spend it to try to help dogs with cancer, when actually some of the money, or it appears most of the money, didn't go to that at all. And he also lied, according to the courts, when he said he had big dollar donations, which is something that he then said to the Republican National Campaign Committee, look at all the money that I've gotten. Give me some more money because I'm in a competitive race and I've got great fundraising skills. And the RNC comes to find out, well, no, he was lying about his fundraising capacity. Well, Santos faces 23 felony charges, including wire fraud and identity theft. He has pleaded not guilty. We could go on, but we're a bit tired. The House Ethics Committee says it will announce its next course of action on this matter on or before November 17, 2023. The committee said in a statement that it has contacted approximately 40 witnesses, reviewed more than 170,000 pages of documents, and authorized 37 subpoenas over the course of their investigation. It sounds like, Adrienne, that this is only sort of a matter of time before Congress is able to sort of have the evidence either from court or from this House Ethics Committee and actually have their vote and expel him.
I think it's largely a matter of time before the GOP has enough members in the House so that they can feel that they can actually expel him. You know, I really think that their incentive is making sure that they maintain sufficient numbers in positions of power, because I don't really think that they're invested in getting this man out, even though they recognize he's completely and utterly despicable.
Yeah, I love that George Santos a couple of weeks ago threatened other Republicans saying, oh, yeah, well, I'm going to come after you. You come after me. And it almost seemed to suggest that maybe he had been replicating what other Republicans have been doing in terms of fooling the RNC or trying to get money or trying to pad his campaign, and that he was going to blow the whistle on them.
For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.